All right, I'm gonna tell you the answer right now. If you wanna get more people to like you, the answer is money. Just spend loads of money. You can pay to have people like you. You can pay for mansions so people wanna hang out at your house. You can pay for Lamborghinis in the back of your advertisements and videos so that people will think that maybe one day they might get a ride from you. You can use money to get people to like you. But unfortunately, you're gonna attract the wrong kind of people. People who actually won't like you, but they'll like the money that you have. They're gonna like you for things that aren't genuinely you. If you wanna get more people to like you, wouldn't it be fantastic if there were simple things that didn't cost $1 to get people to wanna follow you and be a subscriber and also wanna be your friend and truly help you out too? Whether you're on social media and you wanna show up for people and have people understand what you're all about, whether you're starting a podcast or a YouTube channel and you want more subscribers, or maybe you're an entrepreneur looking to start a business and make an impact in the world too. Well, you're in the right spot. In this video, I'm gonna share with you 7 things that I've learned, simple things that I've learned over the last 12 years of being an entrepreneur and being online and growing a large audience to make people like you more. Now, before we dive into these tips, it might sound a little vain to just wanna have people like us, right? And I think it's a different kind of like that we're talking about here, hopefully. Because in order to transact with people, in order to help people, in order to build a business, you need to have people know, like, and trust you. And a lot of times entrepreneurs are great at getting people to find them, to know about them. And then also they incorporate a lot of strategies to build trust, social proof, a lot of testimonials and these types of things. But a lot of people forget that middle part of the equation, to know, like, and trust people. So this is the video that you're gonna watch that's gonna help you understand how to get people to like you so that, and this is the important thing, you can serve them. Because when you serve first, you can get rewarded back in several different ways that you can't even imagine. So again, these are simple things, 7 things, rapid fire. Here we go. Oh, and speaking of likes, hit that like button because that helps out a lot. Okay, let's get started. One of my favorite books of all time was written and published in 1936. And this is a book that had, is it 1936? Yeah, 1936. And this was a book about building relationships. I'm gonna see if you can guess what the title is in just a minute. But this book still upholds today. And in the world that's very technological, very connected in the online world, this book is what I like to call the Bible of building relationship capital. So do you have any idea what this book is called? Well, it's called How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie, one of my all-time favorites. And this first tip comes directly from this book in a chapter talking about the most beautiful sound to a person that they could ever hear. The most beautiful sound a person could ever hear is their own name. So when possible, whenever you have an interaction with somebody, try to use that person's name. So what are some examples? If you're doing a live stream, for example, and I've been going live every single day here on YouTube during the crisis that's happening right now to show up for my audience, I've been trying as much as possible to use everybody's name, because one of the most incredible things that you could hear when you're on a live stream is the person who's hosting that live stream mentioning your name. What's up, Tarek? First live, awesome. Well, thanks for being here. Let me give you a quick shout out. And Chris, back for day 3, Chuck in the house, Jeff, fantastic. So if you go live on Facebook or YouTube, Twitch, or whatever, make sure as much as possible you're actually using people's names, not just reading the comments, but using their name along with it. It goes a very long way. People get really excited about that. Right, Jim, Sarah, Connor, Bradley? Some people watching this are probably named that and freaking out right now. But anyway, I had to try. In person, when you're at an event, one day we will be going back to events, but right now we're all quarantined. One thing that you can do is try to really focus on remembering a person's name. A lot of times people become very impressed when you meet somebody and then you see them, hours later or perhaps even the next day at an event and you call them by their name. Truly, it works wonders. Now, how might you remember a person's name? Well, it's actually really hard because we're not consciously thinking about a person's name when we're meeting a person often. And I'll link to some videos below by my good friend Jim Quick, who has some amazing videos about memorization, specifically those videos that he's posted online about remembering people's names. Again, it goes an extremely long way. So use a person's name, right, Jim, Sarah, but also don't try to automate it. Personalize the situation, use a person's name, it'll work out. Now, what do you do if you don't know a person's name? This takes us to tip number 2. If you don't know a person's name, but you are in a setting where you are speaking to a group of people, the one word you should always use is you. Just like I'm talking to you right now here on this video, or if you are conducting a podcast episode, use the word you because you're addressing the audience member on the other side. If you are writing a blog post, say words like you. It's very common, especially online, especially on social media, to say words like, hey, you guys, or all of you, or you're all amazing, all of you. And that makes people feel like one of many. And the trick here is to make people feel special, right? So when you say words like you on a webinar, it makes it feel like a person is listening and they're hearing you speak directly to them. And that's so much more powerful, especially in a sales type setting. This is very difficult to do, but the best way to go about it is to just be conscious about it before you go live in front of an audience, or if you're on stage, or if you're about to record something, or even share a message in a Facebook or Instagram or post elsewhere. See how you are addressing it to the individual, because I know it's easy for you to say all you guys, or hey all y'all, or what's up ladies, like, or whatever. I would never say that. What's up, ladies? See, it just doesn't come off well. But yeah, you as the creator, you are sharing this information with lots of people. You have lots of followers, perhaps, lots of subscribers, people who are gonna open that email, lots of people. But to that person, that single person who opens that email or listens to that podcast or watches this video, you matter. And your audience member, that single person, matters too. And so make them feel special. You are awesome. I love you. Thank you for being here. See, contrast that to, you guys are amazing. You guys, y'all, you all are fantastic. A little less impact. You get me? Good. All right, number 3, this is a big one I've learned over the years, and it's one of the things that's helped me stand out in this very crowded space of teaching online business and entrepreneurship, and that is, to number 3, be vulnerable. Be okay with making mistakes and owning up to them when you do make them. Be okay with knowing that you are not perfect and owning up to the fact that you aren't. Open up a little bit. Don't just share all the great things, but oftentimes it's when you see somebody who shares only the great things, you kind of know in the back of your mind that they're probably just sharing their highlight reel, or there's something going on that doesn't tell the full story. In my experience, especially on Smart Passive Income, I love to share the failures and the losses just as much as I like to share the wins and the obstacles that we've overcome. It adds a lot more depth to the story and who you are, and most of all, it's relatable because other people are struggling too. So when you show up and you share your struggles, it's not a weak thing to do. It's actually a more powerful thing to do. And because a lot of people don't want to do that because they're afraid of looking weak, well, it makes you stand out and it helps people connect with you and your message more. So be vulnerable. Open up a little bit. You would do that to a good friend, wouldn't you? You'd open up when something wasn't going right. Well, why are you allowing your audience to not hear that part of you too? One example of something like this, which was done as an example to hopefully inspire people to do more videos, was an example of me also being vulnerable. I'll link to the video up here in the card. And what that video is about is actually a raw upload of me recording a video. Because right now you're seeing a bunch of cuts and you're just seeing the best parts of this video. But in that video, again, I'll link to it up there right now, it is one that shows you just the raw footage, which is just gross and uncomfortable and awkward and cringy because I mess up and I have these weird long pauses and I'm just like twiddling my thumbs before I start speaking again, because you see the final edited portion. And a lot of people think, oh my gosh, Pat, you're an amazing person who shoots videos on YouTube and you're like this perfect person. I can't do what you do. Yes, you can, because I mess up too. And so check out that video. It's funny and it is definitely something that in most cases would make me feel uncomfortable, but that's okay because I want you to know that I'm going through the same thing that you are too. So now we're more connected together, and I think that goes a long way in us building our relationship together. Number 4, and I need to tell you a quick story about my son to set this up. My son came home from school one day. This was a number of years back when he came home from preschool, and he was really upset. He was almost to the brink of tears, and what he said was, "Daddy, my friend called me weird. I'm really mad. I'm really upset about it. I don't want to be weird." And you know what I did? I leaned down to him. I got on one knee, got on his level, and I said, "Man, you know what, Keone? You are weird. You're like one of the weirdest kids I know." And he was like, "Daddy, what? Why would you?" Remember it like it was yesterday. Anyway, he couldn't believe that I wasn't supporting him. But in fact, I was. Because I told him that he was weird. But I also told him that I was weird too. And that his sister was weird. And that his mom was weird. But I also told him not to tell her that. And I said, it's what makes you weird that makes you special. If you weren't weird, you would just be like everybody else. But you're not like everybody else. You're my son. And I love you. And you're super weird. And I love that about you. And a lot of people who know me and follow me here and subscribe to me on YouTube, which you should do too, They like me because I'm weird. I'm weirdly myself and I'm comfortable in my own skin. Now, I wasn't always like that. I always tried to show up and be like somebody else or just show only the parts of myself that other people would like. Sounds a little dirty. But ever since, I've just embraced my weird and have shown up to be myself. Well, as my buddy Chris Ducker says, your vibe attracts your tribe. And I've attracted a bunch of weirdos too, right? You're super weird. You have your own weirdness, and that's great. Welcome to the weird crew here. Welcome to Team Flynn. A lot of people know me because I have this weird obsession with Back to the Future. I'm so weird about it, I paid for the 70mm roll of one of the trailers to Back to the Future before the movie even came out in 1985. Super weird. But I'm a huge Back to the Future fan. That's fully me, and a lot of my audience knows me for that too. So now, if you see a DeLorean on the road, guess who you're gonna think about? And this happens too. Check out some of these tweets. Yeah, it's like Inception. I don't even have to be there. Because of my weirdness, people know me and think about me without me being there. Kind of crazy, right? Super weird, super awesome. Tip number 5, this is not what I want you to be. I don't want you to be like this friend that we all have who says they're gonna do something and they don't follow through. They're not there for you, right? They're called flakes. And in the online space, or even in real life with your friends, and especially your family, you do not wanna be a flake. It's like dandruff, gross. You don't wanna be a flake, right? You say you're gonna do something and then you don't do it. You don't wanna be that online. So tip number 5, you have to show up consistently for your audience, for your subscribers, for your social media followers. They need to get to know you, but they can't get to know you and like you and trust you if you don't show up. That's a big tip for you, especially if you haven't even showed up yet. You've been worried about the name of your podcast or what your artwork looks like or the version of the website that you want out there, because guess what? That stuff actually doesn't matter. If a person will only like you because you have your website perfect and not for anything else, well, they're not worth having them like you. And by show up, I don't mean necessarily you have to go live on YouTube every day like I have been during this crisis, 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern, by the way. Make sure you subscribe, hit that bell notification icon so you can check me out every morning. I'm there to help serve you and answer questions for you. Join the quarantine. What I mean is you show up in a way where people can consistently see you in a way where they can get access to the things that you have to offer. You show up, and it doesn't have to be crazy, it doesn't have to be all the time, but you are consistent with it. You don't die out, you don't go away. You don't start off hot and you show up all the time and then you pull back because you get tired and you get sort of bored about it, but then you show up again and then you go radio silent again. That's not gonna work. How in the world can people build a relationship with you when they don't even know when you're gonna show up? But if you show up consistently, like I've been for the last decade, you can't help but build fans and friends and help influence people so that you can serve them more. And a lot of these things I'm talking about right now, I didn't do in the beginning, which is why it took me so long. And you can do these things much faster. See how I use the word you? That's you watching this right now. Number 6, this is one of my favorite strategies. I talk about it in my book, Super Fans. It's called the What's Up. It's an unexpected, super casual check-in with somebody that's personal. Now, let me literally live demo this for you right now. It's not live because this is a pre-recorded video, but I'm gonna pull out my phone here. I'm gonna open up Instagram and just show you an example of this. So I'm gonna go to my latest post and I'm gonna scroll into my comments. I'm gonna find somebody who I haven't really reached out to before in my comments section here. So I'm gonna reach out to excellence.addiction mental toughness with Mark. So I'm gonna message Mark. He just commented on my post and here is what I'm gonna send him. This is the what's up. So I'm gonna turn on the video, see, video there, and I'm gonna flip it to me and I'm gonna just record something for him. Hey Mark, what's up? It's Pat Flynn here. Just want to say thanks for not just your comment on my last post, but for being there, for being a fan. I appreciate you. If there's anything I can do to help you, let me know. And just wishing you all the best. Hope all is well during these crazy times. And yeah, thanks again. Appreciate you. You get the idea. I hit send. So how long did the What's Up with Mark actually take? It took about 10 seconds. And so you can go into the direct messages and leave a personalized message to somebody and use their name, just like I did there. It kind of blows their mind. I would recommend you do this right now. Like hit pause right now, do this with 5 people who have recently sent a message on one of your social media platforms that you could reach out to via a DM, a direct message, send them a quick video, mention their name, say thanks. Do this without any other agenda other than to just check in on them and say hello. Because the moment you have an agenda is the moment they see you're disingenuine. And the point is, you need to schedule this into your weekly calendar in some way. Maybe you're going on a walk every week for 30 minutes on Fridays or something. Use that time to send these video messages, or even voice will work too, which you can do on Instagram. And I'll tell you, these things get responded to like crazy. People are blown away that you spent the time to do this. Another example, outside of business, here's what you need to do. You need to do what I learned from Jordan Harbinger from the Jordan Harbinger Show. Go to your text messages and scroll all the way to the bottom. All the way on the bottom are the people who you haven't sent a message to in a long time compared to everybody else. Scroll to the bottom, find the 10 people who you hadn't reached out to in the longest time, and send them a quick message. Just reach out to them, say hello, check in on them. Hopefully they're doing well, and I promise you, you're gonna make more connections and build relational capital in this way. And again, no other agenda other than to just check in. And I'll tell you, they're not getting that from everybody. So if you wanna get people to like you, a little bit of personal attention like that goes a very long way. In fact, I schedule this into my Fridays for 30 minutes. I get through about 50 different people and probably a 90% reply rate. People are blown away. A lot of people share that on their social media platforms. It's really fun making those connections. Even though I have 200,000 plus people on an email list, those one-on-one interactions are still key. And no, it's not scalable, not at all. I don't want to create fake video messages for all the Johns out there and fake video messages for all the Marys out there. It's not going to work. Just like it didn't work at the beginning of this video. Right, Jim? Sarah? Connor? Bradley? You need to get a little personal. And when you do, people will respond to it in a very positive way. And tip number 7, this one's easy and it's also free. And by the way, you always have access to this. Your smile. Smile. And it's hard for me because I have a default RBF, a resting boring face. Like it literally looks like I'm pissed off for no reason. I remember a funny story. I went to my wife's 10-year high school reunion and I was sitting there at the table and some guy came up to me. He's like, dude, are you okay? Like you look upset. And I was like, this is just my normal face. So this is why I'm trying the beard, trying something new. Maybe I won't have RBF now. Now it's like resting beard face. Anyway, yeah, smile. Truly smile. When you meet somebody for the first time, make sure you're smiling. When you're on camera, smile. When you're sending a message, smile. Yeah, even though they won't see it, that smile transcends through your fingers and the keys and the words that you type. A smile goes a long mile. Okay, I'm done. So there you go. 7 ways to get people to like you. Number 1, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button for me. I would like that very much. If you enjoyed this, please share it with those who you think would benefit from it as well. Number 2, make sure you hit subscribe, hit that bell notification icon as well, and see if you can catch me live every morning, 8 a.m. here on the channel. It's called The Income Stream. I help answer questions. We do website reviews, all other kinds of things. It's totally free to join. We got a great community there. Hundreds of people show up, and I want you to join the community too. So The Income Stream, 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern. Team Flynn, you're incredible. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. You are amazing. Thank you for your time today. And I hope you implement some of these things because I know that you can make a deeper and bigger impact on other people's lives too, which in turn will help you as well. Peace out. And as always, Team Flynn for the win.